In a world of heavyweight adventure bikes and stripped-down dual sports, the Aprilia Tuareg 660 is something different. Born from Aprilia's racing DNA, it promises off-road grit without giving up road comfort. But does it really deliver? Today we'll break down the strengths, the weaknesses, and why the Tuareg 660 could be the smartest adventure choice heading into 2026. Underneath the rugged shell sits Aprilia's 659 cubic centimeters parallel twin, borrowed from the RS Intuno 660, but tuned for torque. It makes around 80 horsepower and 70 newton meters of torque, with a flat curve that favors low and mid-range power. Exactly what you want when climbing rocks or overtaking trucks. Wet weight is roughly 204 kilos, lighter than many middleweight rivals. Suspension travel is 240 millimeters front and rear, paired with fully adjustable KYB forks and shock. Ground clearance sits at 240 millimeters, and seat height is 860 millimeters. Tall but manageable for the adventure crowd. Add a 5-gallon, 18-liter tank, and you're looking at 300 miles of range if you keep the throttle reasonable. The Tuareg's biggest strength is balance. It's not the heaviest, not the most powerful, but it nails the sweet spot between road touring and real off-road. Aprilia gave it a full suite of electronics: ride modes, traction control, switchable ABS with off-road settings, cruise control, and a crisp TFT dash. Unlike some rivals, you don't need to pay extra for rider aids. They come standard. Its suspension is a standout. The long-travel KYBs soak up washboard roads and rocky trails, but they're not vague on asphalt. Riders often describe it as confidence-inspiring, sharp enough to carve a mountain pass, forgiving enough for loose gravel. And then there's the design: slim midsection, rally-style fairing, LED lighting. It looks like a Dakar refugee, but it's approachable for everyday riders. Aprilia priced it aggressively against bikes like the Yamaha Tenere 700, offering more tech for nearly the same money. Of course, no bike is perfect. The Tuareg's tall seat means shorter riders might struggle at stops. The parallel twin has character, but it's not as raw as a KTM or as smooth as a Triumph. On long highways, you'll feel some vibration at higher revs. Aprilia's dealer network isn't as vast as Yamaha or Honda, especially in rural areas. A concern for riders planning long expeditions. Service intervals are decent, but parts availability can sometimes mean waiting longer than you'd like. Finally, while it's built to handle off-road, it's not a dirt bike. At over 200 kilos, deep sand or technical single track will still be a challenge, just like it is on every middleweight ADV. So why choose the Tuareg 660 in 2026? Because by then it's proven. The early launch years have shown that it's reliable, well-built, and competitive against Yamaha's Tenere 700, KTM's 790/890 Adventure, and even Honda's Transalp 750. Aprilia has had time to refine software, update accessories, and strengthen dealer support. In a market where adventure bikes keep getting bigger, heavier, and more expensive, the Tuareg 660 stays lean, balanced, and affordable. It's a motorcycle that can take you across a continent, then down a fire road without breaking your spirit or your wallet. The Aprilia Tuareg 660 isn't about extremes. It's about the balance that makes adventure riding possible for real-world riders. Light enough for trails, comfortable enough for distance, smart enough with its electronics, and priced to compete. So the question is, would you pick the Tuareg over its rivals in 2026? Or does another adventure bike steal your heart? Drop your choice in the comments, and let's see which machine the community trusts to carry us into the wild.